We played South by Southwest a very, very long time ago when it was a much smaller swath, a smaller area, and now it's really like, I feel like it's been close to like 10 years since we've been back here, and it's expanded extremely. I can't believe how far it goes. People have been constantly asking about us coming back. I think if we had just announced we're going to start writing, be a lot of people looking over our shoulders, kind of trying to get in the mix. It's a lot easier to just kind of start writing and just do it for the sake of doing it without people kind of like putting their hands in the pot and looking over your shoulder and whatnot.
There was a bunch of times it almost got out in different ways. I went out to dinner with 2 Chainz, and he took a picture that said Fall Out Boy featuring 2 Chainz, and like no kids believed it. He posted that on Instagram, and kids were like, nah. The end of this interview.
Calling it a reunion would assume that we had broken up, which we never have. The plan is to keep with doing all the healthy stuff we're doing within this band that makes this band enjoyable to do, and if we can keep that going, then we can keep the band going.
The Rolling Stones said that they couldn't imagine themselves making music in their 60s, and it worked out for them, so I'm just going to say that I can't imagine us making music in our 60s.
I can't imagine making music in my 130s.
Yeah. It's the name of a song, and it just kind of came together naturally, which is usually how the writing works with Pete's lyrics, is as I'm kind of looking at them or whatever, somehow the melody just happens, and that kind of became the hook, you know. And when I sent in that demo, that was kind of one of the reactions, was like, oh, it sounds like an album title, and from then on, it's been crazy, because it's one of those things that it's definitely, there's some people that, you know, that love it, there's some people that hate it. We bumped into Elton John, and which is insane, and it's insane that he knows our band.
Bumped into him in the studio.
Bumped
you know
into
what
him in
I'm
the
saying?
studio. You know, my good friend Elton. But we bumped into him in the studio, and he goes, and he knows everything, which is amazing. Like he keeps tabs on every band. He knows every band better than you do. He goes, you need this title. That is the best title. He's like, stand up to that title. He's like, because you're gonna piss off a lot of people that you should piss off.
You can look at Instagram the same way that like it waters down the idea of photography. But I mean, you look at like real photographers that like play with the filters and stuff on Instagram still can take better photos than just some guy in the street. It's good to have all that out there for everybody to mess with. It's good for everyone to have that ability to be able to make music, even if it's not necessarily their like second nature forte. But yeah, it's better to be a kind of adept at it.
Obviously, it's a pendulum, you know, and it's about creating art and creating new stuff. And you see stuff like I see our buddy Sonny Skrillex, seeing him do stuff, and for people to be like, oh, that's bull, that's not rock and roll. Like, that is rock and roll. Have you been to those shows? You know, so
yeah, and I think it's all about the idea. I think people blame technology all the time. People blame the tool. It's never the tool. It's always how you use it.
From knowing our band, we're 4 very, very different personalities, and we all have people that we want to call up. You know, obviously waiting to lock in a couple of official signatures, but from what anybody's seen on Instagram or on Twitter, some of those should come to fruition. Don't they look related? I was like, Patrick, fast forward yourself like 60 years in the future.
It was kind of crazy when I saw it. I was like, oh, weird.